This is the last time that I'm going to bring this up. However, I would like to bring to the table evidence today. We were sitting at the dinner table, and
What?
Allie looks over at me and
Oh,
says,
no.
"Oh, wow! I just feel like our home feels so cozy now."
Oh.
And do you want to know why our
Okay.
home feels so cozy now,
This
and
is...
why it didn't before? Is because she redecorated the house.
I did not redecorate
Because
the house.
you cannot say the house feels cozy now,
the space we were sitting
insinuating
in.
that the house was not cozy
Word.
before,
I don't
and
have...
then argue that you didn't redecorate the house, because then you would say this room feels
Listen.
cozier, but no, you said the house.
Look,
So you redecorated the house.
I did
win.
not redecorate that. You don't win.
I win.
No.
Because she
Anywho,
redecorated
I did
another room
not,
today.
And I don't have the energy to
Completely
deal with this.
redecorated the bathroom.
I did
in the
not
hall.
completely redecorate the bathroom. You're ridiculous. It's a new shower curtain, and I put down a rug. That's
And
not redecorate.
you put up a whole new frame.
A picture?
Yep.
A 5x7
what
picture.
else is there to decorate in a hall bathroom?
Oh, my word.
The answer? Nothing. So you
well,
did
plot
redecorate
twist,
it.
I did just get some more stuff for there, so...
For where?
The hall bathroom.
Wait, you got more stuff? What more do you need
Just
in a
like
hall bath?
Some like towels to put over the towel bar. And
Like fake towels?
they're not fake towels.
Are people going to be taking showers while they're here?
I don't know, maybe. If we have guests. Okay, but nobody cares about any of this because all 8 of these people right now are saying, praise heavens, Will's wearing pants.
Shut up. Yeah, I had to. I am a fan of the short.
Will is team Shorty-Short.
If my shorts are touching my knees, I ain't about it.
No.
So those cannot be worn on, as somebody said on Twitter,
Ever?
X, whatever. They said, this is a family program.
Exactly.
So put those away.
Yeah.
All right.
You know.
Well, once again, this is Allie and Will, episode
That felt weird.
29.
Is it?
29?
Ew.
Does anybody get that reference?
You should.
29?
Okay. They heard you the first time. Stop.
Okay. I think it's episode 29 of the No One Asked Us podcast. Podcast?
I don't feel like this is episode
Why does
29.
Why did podcast
If
feel
you
weird?
renamed it, wouldn't it be the
episode
second
2?
one?
I mean, I guess technically this is the second episode of the renamed podcast.
So it's just like a brand new one.
So what do we just like make a new season?
I don't know, I guess.
We'll figure it out.
I don't literally do anything other than
Let's do it.
and listen. I mean, what do you want me to wait? Like a dramatic pause?
I don't know, Allison. You got to intro the segment. It's time for quote of the week, or quotes. This time there's only one, so it's quote of the week.
I've got 2.
Ooh, quotes of the week,
Quotes
plural.
of the week.
Hit me,
Quote.
because I only know one of them.
Well, you know the second one.
I'm sure I do, but I don't know what you're thinking right now.
Oh,
I don't read
okay.
minds. Clearly, as evidence of our marriage.
Okay. No, the first quote of our week was, I feel scrunched. And
That was a good one.
It was a good one. And it came from our daughter who just wrapped up her kindergarten year.
It's a big year.
And just there's been like a lot of emotions for her ending that because I taught in the classroom right across from her, and that came to an end. We were together all the time, but then we go to church Wednesday night, and she goes to Bible class.
Right.
And they kind of mentioned heaven.
Oh, yes.
And so
yes.
she starts to get like at
A
bedtime,
little
she
emotional.
processes all of her emotions for the day, and she starts getting a little upset. And you could tell she's just very in her head about things. And I'm trying to like have the heaven conversation with our 5-year-old at
let me tell you.
8:00 at night.
At the end of a school year.
Yeah. And so we're just talking, and I'm, saying, hey, if there's ever anything that you want to chat with me about, I'm always here, no matter what. I'm here to talk, yada, yada, yada. And I said, I'm here to talk about the things that make you feel happy, the things that make you feel sad, the things that you don't understand, if you ever have a question about,
Which that could be a whole topic in and of
It
itself. Is
could be.
just like trying to make your kids feel
But she
comfortable
goes,
talking to you.
but I feel all of those things right now. I feel scrunched. And I was like,
What a
well,
line.
that makes total sense when
Out of the
you're
mouth of babes.
happy and you're sad and you're confused and all of the above.
Yes.
I feel scrunched.
Feel scrunched. What a line. I mean, she nailed it.
She did.
It's like, I've never thought of it that way, but there are so many times where it's like you're feeling so much and there's so much
And it's
going on
just
that you just feel scrunched.
scrunched. She feels scrunched.
So if you ever need, y'all now have creative freedom to use that if you need to tell someone you feel scrunched.
Feel scrunched.
Okay, what's number 2?
It's
Oh,
an audio clip.
this is a good one. Don't play it into the mic. I'll play it. I'll like clip it in over like after. I mean, you could just play it so we can hear it.
But how do I not play it into the mic when it...
You can play it. I'll cut it. Okay. We're going to bloop something right here. Well, we're not going to bloop it because I don't want to show you. I don't want to show you a video of our kid. So
you're just going to hear it.
Audio clip coming in now.
Oh. Wait. Here we go.
False start.
It keeps... Wait.
I got more kisses in my heart.
The most... Just the sweetest little voice.
A sugar.
Oh, our middle child is sitting there and gave... What was it? I think it was like he was giving you kisses.
Or one of the grandparents.
And he said, I'm all out of kisses. And
no, I said, do you have any... He said, I gave them all. I gave them all to grandmom or something.
Gave all my kisses to grandmom.
I was like, oh, you don't have any more? And he just, and him and his little lisp.
His little lisp.
He just goes, I got more kisses in my heart.
It's the lift at the end, the in my heart. Like
but see, we're not going to show you the video, but like, and then afterwards he does this little like.
Smolder. He just like, he knows he was cute.
He does.
Oh,
so that was my second.
That's a good one. All right.
I got more kisses in my heart.
He does have more kisses in his heart. But you brought up something while talking about Palmer's thing that where you were like, oh, it was the end of the school year. We feel all tired and everything. Mm-hmm. And I would like to bring to the audience's attention that I'm actually married to 2 women.
This is absurd.
Allie is made up of multiple. There's
you make me sound like I have
multiple personality disorder. I don't know. Y'all tell us. Just kidding. Or don't weigh in on Allie's mental disorder.
I feel like you are digging a really deep hole here.
I'm not. Okay, I'll just get to the point then before I'm ending on the couch. There is School Allie and there's Summer Allie. There are 2 Allies, and let me tell you, Summer Allie is a good time.
Summer Allie's here.
She is not overstimulated. She is not exhausted.
I mean,
she has not had to take care of 20 different children. It's just only our children. Kids. And then like on top of all that, it's like even it, well, okay. Nobody asked you. On top of that, it's like she feels like we're at home and she's not at work. So it's like when she knows there's things she wants to get done around the house, she can just do them.
Like touching up areas of
right.
the home.
So it's like she feels more in control of the home. Mm-hmm. It's like, let me tell you guys, if you are married to a teacher, you get it. If you are not married to a teacher, let me tell you, it's
congratulations, like maybe. I don't know.
No. I would not want to be married to anybody else. There are so many benefits for you being a teacher. But
Summer Allie's here.
Summer Allie is here. It is time to party. I'm so excited.
Let's go.
I just felt like y'all needed to know that.
Yep.
Also,
she's her most organized. She's her most free-spirited.
She is her most free-spirited. It's a weird dichotomy because it's like she's got all the energy to clean the house and pick things up and keep the children in order. But she is also like, things can, like, we can just do whatever. Yeah. Like, let's go do this tonight. Let's just drive up to Auburn today. Like, why not
do this?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's wonderful.
Also, it is only the second time doing this, but these panels are ridiculous. They're awesome in one sense that they can go away and our house goes back to normal. But in the other sense,
2 hours.
In the other sense, I've got to like take them upstairs to my office, which is like 7. It's a split level.
We live a split level.
It's a split level, but it's not flat. It's not flat. It's like 7. Because that really matters. But anyway, it's enough to be annoying. but it's worth it. But at the same time, if anybody wants to sponsor us, or
Oh,
if you know anybody looking to sponsor a, uh,
accepted sponsorships
would you consider
are,
this to be like a comedy slash,
I don't know.
I don't know what kind of pod this is,
Also,
but we will
there are
take sponsors.
8 people that listen
Look, if
to
any of
this.
y'all know anybody looking to sponsor podcasts, please help. I want to buy a
Feels
studio that we can drop.
thirsty.
You can drop it in the yard, and I don't have to like set things up and tear them down.
That's just the lazy man's way.
That is the lazy man's way.
If
All
you
right.
wanted to do this, put in the work, man.
I did put in the work. Also, I finally found a use for an iPad. There is
Sans.
no adult use for an iPad until now, which is when you're using your phone as the camera, and now you need to look at show notes. Okay. The thing that I want to talk about, there are two things that I want to talk about.
Okay. I love
Um,
this. This
that
is
are
such a
like
surprise.
that are like actual topics, and then we should probably recap the trip that we just had. Because
We can.
I think.
But I also,
Go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Sorry. I
No,
didn't
fine.
mean to cut
Go,
you off.
cut me
It's
off,
okay.
Allison. By all means, what do you have to say?
I asked you a question earlier, and
What did you ask me?
something that's probably now become one of my biggest pet peeves with you.
Oh, sweet Maria.
That I will talk to him about something or I'll say something, and you'll be like, I'm not going to answer you.
What do you mean? What are you
I'm
talking
only going to answer you, apparently,
about?
while doing this.
I forgot. Okay,
And I'm
let's talk about
so
that first.
mad.
Let's talk about that
because
first.
I legitimately want to know. And I asked.
The only reason I didn't, normally I would answer you, but I knew we were recording tonight, and you asked like a couple hours before.
Okay.
So
So you had all that time to give me your answer.
I did, but I wanted to wait instead because this
This isn't fair.
lay
This
it on
feels
us.
like a set.
It's
like
not a setup.
setup.
It's not a setup. Bring it. Bring
Okay.
it, girl. Tell me again.
Asked.
I only remember some of it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Summer Alley's here. She's wanting to tackle all the projects. She's wanting to
She is wanting to tackle all the projects.
get her house in tip-top shape. And I was like, oh, we're having some people over soon. And so
We are on Sunday. We're gonna
I'm
have
like, that
the
just
whole
got me
neighborhood.
thinking of like, not the whole neighborhood.
I mean,
but
all the
just-
people who have kids our age that we know are coming over with bouncies, and
Okay, whatever. Anywho,
it'll be fun.
I just got to thinking, like, I want to be a good hostess.
Absolutely.
And I'm like,
The hostess with mostest,
I sure
as they
do.
say.
And so I'm like,
A real
that's-
southern host.
yes. And so that's why I got to thinking about like the hallway bathroom because people are going to be in there and it was not hostess ready. So it just needed a little freshen. But I'm like, man, we need some of those like
In case you're wondering, the bathroom was a totally fine bathroom before.
was-
Allie just likes fresh and new.
Stop.
Go ahead.
We need like the guest towels for people to wipe their hands off. We need
Guest towels.
like little napkins.
One sec. For those of you who don't know, which is going to be all of you, guest towels is like when you go to a restaurant and they have a little stack of like
just
paper
so
towels
that way
there.
Your hand towel's not soaking wet.
So we don't let the plebeians use our towels in our home. We give them disposable
No.
ones.
Imagine you're sharing one restroom with like 20 guests and everybody's washing their hands and now your hand towel's soaking wet.
Okay, that's a fair rebuttal.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
So I'm thinking like hand towels, little like cocktail napkins. I want, like what I'm trying to get Will to do is to design like a house logo.
That's what she said. Will, I want
For
that.
the
She didn't
King's
explain all
fan.
this other stuff. She just looks at me and says, "Will, I want a house logo."
I want like a house logo
I'm like,
so
what?
I can put it on
A brand
things.
for our house.
Like
You know, like
branding.
I'm like,
So
what?
it's like
Are we burning this into our
on
children? Like, what's going on
station-
here?
Stop it. On like stationery for us, that it's like on the return address on envelopes.
Like we're a business.
I want it on like matches next to my candles. Sorry, there was a noise.
Yeah,
What was that?
I don't know. Our house has some weird noises. Sometimes
really
squirrels get in our ceilings, and it just makes a lot of noise.
You told me that they didn't. That
It's like right before bed and you're trying to go to sleep.
you literally tell me that they don't.
Uh-oh.
Kidding me?
Sometimes when you hear the scritchy scratchy, I'm just saying they're on the roof because you need to go to sleep without worrying. I'm trying to do that for you.
Well, now I'm going to worry about squirrels in our attic.
Well, here we are. Life goes on.
Anywho, I want a logo for like our home so I can have it on things like print it, have some like styrofoam cups to keep on hand and like the logo's printed on the cup. I want.
Does this count as a business expense?
I don't
I would like to
know.
know. I would like to know.
I don't know. That's what I want. I just want like a little
This
house branding
this
situation, a
is
logo, kind of like, you know how Southerners love to monogram everything? You know I love a monogram.
Allie does love a monogram, and I don't like monograms
I
at
don't.
all. So I
So
could
it's
get
like just a monogram for our home.
okay. So here is my thoughts about that. I love designing logos.
Yeah.
So that
I
sounds super
know a
fun.
guy.
I would love to design a house logo for our family for the Pine Needle. The
Yeah.
Pine Needle house. The problem is like if we move, do I have to design a whole new one? Like, is it specific to this place?
I
You
don't
know?
know. That's if you were a good designer.
Like, is it a
I feel
family
like,
design?
But see, here's the thing. Like, if you were a good designer, I feel like you could do something that like could translate to your next product.
Here's the
or
thing.
something like
Here's
that.
the thing. Here's my question: is you called it a house brand?
Yeah.
So it's like
But we are what makes a house a
so.
home.
Is it a family brand?
It's a home brand.
Is it a family brand? Like,
don't
is
know.
it a king? The
no,
king logo.
No, because then you're gonna do something with like a crown, and I don't want that.
So it is something,
It's
house
something
related.
very tied to our roots here.
No steak on Monday. It's a steak with an X over it with Monday written above it.
Well,
All
what are
right.
your thoughts on those?
My thoughts
because
on
I literally asked you for
you
you
did.
to like give
All
me
right.
an answer.
My
and-
thoughts are I like it.
Yes.
I really do. I think that is a nice little. Here's my thing. I was thinking about this the other day.
Are you answering my question by taking like,
The scenic route? Yes, it's a podcast. You always take the scenic route in a podcast.
or you could just
So
answer it and let's
22
move
years
on.
ago. No, a couple weeks ago when we had Palmer's dance recital.
What?
Just let me get there. It was crazy. It was busy. We had my parents, we had your parents, your grandparents, your brother and sister-in-law, like everyone was there. All of the people that we are like in our community, because like all of our daughters do dance together. So it's like people that we're like friends with / also acquaintances, whatever. The people who we spend social time with where we live. And I was like, man, this is so crazy, but this is what it's all about. This is so great. And I just loved that moment. And like, we're doing it again on Sunday. We are having like all the people who like a lot of them go to St. James.
Spoiler alert, that's where I work.
That is where Allie works. It's the school where we send our kids. So we like have our parent friends because our kids are in classes together. So a bunch of them live in our neighborhood. And so we're having everybody over for like a little summer bash. And it's like, boom, like that's what it's all about. Like it's where all of our kids are getting together. We're going to have a good time. And I love the idea. You know me. I love going full send.
I know.
You know, like if we're going to have people over, if we're going to do social events,
I want
why not have King Family or Pine Needle branded,
something
whatever,
on a cup,
home branded
on
items?
stationery.
I'm all
on
about
matches.
it. Absolutely.
On-
This is a 100% yes from me.
Oh heck yeah!
Oh yeah, I'm so into
I'm
this.
so pumped.
Now, where things get a bit less interesting to me
Don't do
is
this
like,
to me.
let's keep it to things that are like normal use.
What would not be a normal use that I've said?
I don't know, but I just know that now that we have like once we have a home brand,
Like a koozie? Oh,
like that's what I'm saying. Koozies. Like why do we need branded koozies?
why would you not?
I don't know, man.
People do it at their weddings,
Are we a wedding?
baby showers.
Are we, once again, is this a baby shower?
No, but it's just like we have them on deck when we've got some people.
Man,
and we're like,
I don't know.
Don't want your hand to get cold.
I don't know. I love the like styrofoam cup though.
Yes,
That's a good one. So yeah, I could be interested.
could be interested. I'll go find another designer. I'm sure one of these people.
Like heck you will. No, you won't.
I'm gonna crowdsource. Find me another one. Somebody better than
Yeah,
this guy.
good luck crowdsourcing any design. Anyway, I'm all in. That sounds great to me. I think it'll be so fun
Be
and so
excited about
cute.
it.
Yeah, so what? Okay, sorry. I said full
Be
send.
happy
I'm
about
pumped.
it.
I am pumped.
Okay.
I'll be more happy when there's actually a something to show,
Okay.
which we will now be revealing on the podcast because we
Stay
have to
tuned.
stay tuned for our King Family brand. Is it going
I
to
love
be
that.
in Palmer's handwriting?
No,
I
this
know.
is
It's got to be
classy.
classy. Allie's a classy girl. All right. So there are two things that I want to talk about.
Okay.
One, I want to talk about the thing that you brought up about like kids need mess.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other thing that I want to talk about is like being patient parents.
Yeah.
And
Those go very well
not
together.
in the like sense that I think most people are probably thinking when I say that.
Okay.
So why don't we start with kids should be messy?
Okay.
Because I think this is a good one.
I mean, I don't know how
Fine, I will.
deep
All right.
dive you want to go into this.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I thought you were
Set
going to
me
say,
up.
I don't know how to start this.
Set me
All
up.
right, here is what Allie, as a kindergarten teacher, said to me one day, which was, I run into
Oh, well,
situations where you notice.
pause. This all stemmed from a wonderful Instagram reel I saw
Did it?
from a pediatric occupational therapist.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I sent it to you.
Like I said, I totally remember exactly what you showed me.
It's just really interesting that I think you and I discuss a lot of the time of whatever, I guess, partners do for like their day jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I would not know about anything that happens in like your line of work because I get a glimpse from like the behind the scenes of what you do. You know, like
Right.
I just wouldn't know.
It was
Like,
hilarious. We were driving home today from going to see my parents for the past week.
none of those words made sense.
And Allie, I had some like work messages come in, and Allie's like my chief of staff when I'm driving,
Yeah.
where she like answers my work messages based on what I tell her. And she's like, no, stop. You got to go slower. I don't know what any of these words are.
Like this, you say what I guess is a full sentence in your work speak, but I'm like, this isn't. No.
She was like, query, like Query. For some reason, that looks weird.
I don't know, something about. I swear, if you said partitioned table one more time to me, I was gonna lose it.
Oh,
Anywho,
goodness.
but like with your partner, you get like glimpses of how things work that you wouldn't know otherwise, you
Right,
know?
right.
And I think from my perspective, like you maybe wouldn't know as much about childhood development or things like that if I didn't bring some of this stuff to the table.
I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. I would be nothing as a parent without you.
No, and vice versa.
There's so much that
we both.
Thank you for
Okay,
you for
for real.
pandering, but
Okay, no, I mean it. But I saw this thing that was, like I said, pediatric OT, but talking about how kids need messes, and as a lot of the time parents are so like, oh no, we can't do that, but
right,
their
it's
brains
messy. It's like
need that sensory input, and I can tell just as like overall trends sometimes with kids that I observe of clearly they have not had sensory or messy play.
right, because they
And-
overreact
or
when
they-
anything
or-
doesn't go the way it should.
Or they don't interact with it. That
Oh,
it's
like
this,
they
I
avoid
don't
it.
know
Right,
what to
right,
do.
right.
For example, you know, like when you're feeding a baby, you can tell like the kids that haven't had to like work on picking up food, like putting applesauce on like a baby tray when they're first starting, letting them like try to grasp and pick that up and feel that mess. Like their brain is making connections from that point of like building muscles in their hands or everything. Like they need to learn to make the mess. And there's a lot of, you know, a lot of good lessons to learn that
there are a lot of good
life
lessons.
skills, because the kids that aren't getting their hands messy in the applesauce aren't going to be the kids that, you know, get into Play-Doh and start building their muscles there. Or
right. I would even say their kid, like you are instilling in your child a fear of messing up.
yeah,
Like you're not instilling in them like a exploratory nature. Like
Exactly.
it's okay to explore. It's okay to do things incorrectly. It's okay for things to be like yucky or gross or like not good for a little bit as you try to figure it out. And
and as your
you can-
brain tries to make
it's so
the map
interesting.
of what you're
Right,
trying to do,
right.
because, you know, one really fun activity I love to do with our kids or kids in the classroom is, and this is a great way just for play or for like reinforcing whatever you're trying to teach, is shaving cream. Like it's a fun way to get kids to,
Right.
get some sensory input to write their letters. Maybe they're writing what we call heart words. I won't get into that today.
Yeah, you're getting a little deep here.
I'll get a little deep into my Orton
Right.
Gillingham.
Right. Bring it back up for the normies.
Or, just like do their shapes. Maybe
Right.
you're,
Yep.
I don't know, just anything. It's a great, sensory activity to reinforce what
Totally.
you're doing. But I have seen kids and also just teaching Bible classes or things like that, that it's like they don't know, they don't know what to do. It's like this automatic, like I'm supposed to get into this and I'm not,
It's really funny. There's a parallel. I was thinking as you're like talking about this, there's like a parallel for people, like for my job. And like there's a parallel for like the type of work that that we do. And you can really tell people who are like, who get in the weeds and like people who like don't mind making something messy in code or making messy designs to get to the right solution and they don't mind getting things wrong along the way or like experimenting and trying a bunch of different things. Whereas like you can really tell the people who've like, in this case, it's like less, it's like they've been spoon fed a specific architecture or like they've been spoon fed a certain series of like approaches. That's like, this is the way you should do it. And when anything falls outside of the bounds of that approach, which it often does because there's nothing that is ever the happy path when you're building software, suddenly they don't know what to do anymore. Like you're saying, like they don't know how to like problem solve that or to think through it or to try and like figure it out.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like they've never gotten messy, never gotten off the beaten path and never like been forced to do that. So I thought when you were telling me all this, I was just like, oh man, this is so interesting. Cause I can see that like that concept parallels like very well, like for like creative and like software, like
it's
processes
just
too.
To me, like the literal map it makes from like being an infant and you're getting ready to start eating foods and you're sitting in your high chair and your mom just like pours applesauce on the tray and you're playing with it to like that is literally one of the building blocks to ultimately putting a pencil in a kid's hand.
Right.
And
Fine
so
motor, etc.
It's just really neat to see that's it's important. Let kids get messy.
And it parallels very nicely, like shoehorn. Is that the right term? It shoehorns very well into the other topic, which is like patient parents, where
that feels wrong, but
I don't know.
I don't
you tell
like
us
that.
I don't like it either.
That.
Whether it's
Just
right or wrong, I don't like it.
That.
There's this thing that me and Allie feel very strongly about, which is, and it like is the reason why like a lot of parents don't let their kids be messy, is because parents are in a rush. And it's not about like, oh man, like I need to be patient when my kid throws a fit, or I need to be patient when my kid like is not listening to me. Like, sure, like whatever, those are all good things. But like this is specifically talking about like giving your children time to figure things out for themselves and not stepping in to solve their problems because you are in a rush. I catch myself doing this quite a bit because I get behind myself in my own schedule. Like I will not have managed my time very well, and
time management.
I'll be
when
like,
people
oh,
are like,
yeah.
what are your biggest strengths and weaknesses?
Right.
Time management goes on more of like the weakness.
It does not, kind of. It definitely does. I'm very much like, what happens is like, oh yeah, it only takes 20 minutes to get there. So I stop what I'm doing 20 minutes before I need to leave. But then there's like other things.
You forget the
I'm like, oh man, like I
minute.
need to get the keys and I need like, and then I'm like, oh, I need to rush out the door. And then I forget the thing that I was supposed to take with
then
me
you
when
gotta
I
come
leave.
back and
I got to
it's just a
turn
whole thing.
anyway. So this happens with like kids where like I'll get in a rush because I'm supposed to get somewhere, blah, 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 whatever. And then because of that, like the period of time when like kids are trying to put their own clothes on and like they've got to, it's so like if there's one thing that is so slow with kids, it's everything. But it's close. It's like putting like when they're first learning how to put their, and even when they know how to put their clothes, like sometimes Palmer is just like so slow. Like,
And
I know
she
you know
has
how to put your
some.
clothes on quickly. I don't know why this is taking 500 years to do it. But it's like if you rush them through it, if you like rush them because you're in a rush, like that messes with them.
Hmm.
But also it's like I would just like, all right, well, like I'll literally like grab Wilson sometime. Like I'd grab him, set him up, like stand him there in front of me, put his pants on, put his
It
shirt
was
on.
like a
He'd be
pit
trying to
crew for him.
right like a like exactly like a freaking pit crew. He'd be like trying to run away and like that like for instance, he will try to like run off, and instead of like working with him to be like, hey buddy, like you need to practice standing still, like we are like even before when I need to help him put his clothes on, like I would not have the patience to just like let him run off and try to like talk him through coming back and standing still. Like, no, I would just grab him, stand him in front of me, and hold him there until I got his clothes on. And like, I will, like, then like Allie, the next day, I'm like watching her do it. And she's just letting him go off. And she's just like, Wilson, buddy, we've got to put our clothes on to do that. We need to stand still in front of me. And like, you can see him like listening thing, and he'll walk back and stand still. And then he'll run off again, and she'll patiently do it. Like, it's, but then you see, like, give it a week of doing this, and like suddenly he never runs off again. Whereas like if you just kept doing it my way when I'm feeling rushed or frustrated, guess who never learns how to stand still on their own and is always needing to be forced into doing the things that are the right choices. So like I don't know, I notice that watching you as a parent, like you take the patient approach to like forcing our kids through by like sacrificing something of ourselves of like I could
Sanity.
be doing I could be doing a bunch of other things right
Yeah.
now. Like I could be cleaning this. I could be doing this work thing. We could already be leaving. Like all of these
Well,
things where it's like nope. Like I need to put all of those needs and wants aside for a bit because like the important thing right now is like making
the
this take
skill.
longer now so that they get this skill to do on their own later.
Well,
I don't know.
thank you for saying that. I think that, like you say, or I've got kind of the added bonus of like, I know what this is going to look like in a classroom
Yeah, that's true.
5, 6 years down the road. And it's inevitably you'll have, and I've seen kids throughout my time teaching of who just legitimately don't know what to do and will not know how to put a jacket on. Well, and I'm happy to help. That is not, something I'm not. I wouldn't look at a kid and be like, "Well, I'm not helping you," but like,
Right,
you
right, right.
just have to
It's
literally
you're helping
teach.
you're helping without doing.
You
You
have to
know,
literally teach them how to do it because they're not always going to have somebody there to
to
do
do
it
it for
for
them.
them.
Right.
My kids should know how to clean up a mess.
Right. But you see it
And
these days. Like you see kids like you see a kid who like you'll just see something fall off a table and the kid will just look at it and be like, "Hey, like this
this
fell."
fell, and
Like and
and
like
like,
pick
okay,
it up.
let's pick it up together.
Right.
Let's walk it to the trash can.
Right.
So I think both of us try really, really hard to make sure that we're not
Allie's a lot better at it than I
always
am.
just doing for them or we're not jumping in every little
Mm-hmm.
second, even like with sibling squabbles.
Ooh.
I laugh because I don't
Yeah.
think we've both picked up that we do this with each other, but like we'll hear something
Mm-hmm.
and either
I'm
I can
interested. I have no
feel
idea what you're
like
talking about right now.
Will's about to go in and try to like jump in and handle it. And I'm like, grab his arm. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait just a minute and let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't intervene just yet. Or,
Right.
vice versa. Like, I'm
Right.
getting
Just
ready
kind
to
of
go
depends who's
in.
feeling emotional that day. Like who's
Exactly.
on a short leash that
And
day.
so Will will be like, wait just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens here. And so I think just like it all goes back to taking care of babies.
Oh my goodness.
Her
What a
first
oh,
piece of advice
let me tell you,
was
what a
to
great
just stop
we're not gonna get into that,
and
but
wait.
so great. So great.
We're not the perfect parents and we never will be.
Absolutely not.
But one
No.
thing I can say confidently, without a doubt, is that Will and I try
Trying our dang
really,
hardest.
really,
We
really
are trying
hard.
our like
We give it.
we are not phoning it in. We may not get it right, but
No,
it's not
we're
gonna be
definitely getting some things wrong. I'm
it's
sure.
not gonna be because we like chose not to be parents.
No,
and we chose to let other things parent our children.
we try really hard all the time.
Well, once again, hate to do this for twice in a row, but like this is hilariously like once again draws like a parallel to like engineering in in the fact that like
Right.
you've got to be able to, like you're saying, like if somebody doesn't know how to do something, you don't just do it for them because they don't ever learn how to do it for themselves. And like nobody, it's like the rising tide lifts all boats kind of thing. And it just got me thinking, you know who would be really good engineering managers? Elementary school teachers. Let me tell you, because sometimes a team of engineers is just like a bunch of like
I need to
kids,
get y'all on a behavior
like a
management
bunch of
system.
little kids who don't know what's going on. And they, yes, behavior management, that'd be
Let me get y'all to get an
fantastic.
engineer's promise.
Yes, like
Everybody sign it.
everybody check your PRs, everybody give good reviews and be kind.
I don't know what
Allie
any of
doesn't
that
know what any of
means,
that means, but
but I'm sure you know what it means.
I
I'm
do.
sure all 8 of them do too. So,
They sure do. They sure do.
but yeah, I
All
don't know.
right. Well,
That was
those are the 2 topics I want to talk about. We can wrap things up with a little bit of humor. So tell me a joke. No, I'm just kidding.
Will.
We went to dang it. How did I not see that one coming? Freaking set you up. Okay. Anyway, I was actually going to say something that we thought was both hilarious.
Oh, go ahead.
When we went to Athens, which is North Alabama, where my parents are from, for like a whole week. And
And also where you're from.
it is where I'm from. And it's so great because my mom is like literally like the greatest woman alive in the sense that like she will bend over backwards and do anything for anyone. And so like when we go there with our kids, guess who like is all about taking care of the kids and is fully involved and who gets actual break?
Grandmom.
I
You
phrased that
asked
very-
2
I
questions
asked
in one, so I will answer. First one is grandmom.
who gets
And
to
then-
rest? Us. So we got to go on like walks, and we used to go on these all the time before we had kids. We would go on a walk like she'd get back from work that day, and before we'd eat dinner or right after dinner, we would just walk around our neighborhood and just chat. And a lot of those chats were fun little chats about like starting a family. But they were just great. And so like we'd look at all the houses in our neighborhood and we'd judge them and like
I know.
be like,
I'm judging
this
you.
house needs to change. Like here's what we
Here's
do
what
to
I
it.
would do.
Anyway, so we got to like go on a walk, sans children, in my parents' neighborhood, and we did the same thing. We got walked around. We
got walked around.
we got
Who
walked
walked
around.
us around?
We walked around, judging all of these houses, saying all the things that we love to do about like what we would change, how we would change it, all the fun stuff like that. And we were walking by this one, and just like to set the scene, it had been raining for the past day.
Month.
Yeah, it had been raining a bunch, and it had been raining like the past day. This was probably like mid-morning. It had been raining that morning.
It was still drizzling.
It was still a little misty, and then it was supposed to rain again, like in the next hour or so. We were like catching a walk real quick between the weather, and we walk by this house, and there's this guy who walks. He's just walking out. What did he have? Did he have a leaf blower
He had
or
a leaf blower. He's in like button up, collared shirt,
like blue jeans or whatever?
khaki
maybe
shorts.
khaki shorts. Yeah,
ball cap, loafers.
and his leaf blowing his
And
driveway.
it's like Saturday, I think. You know, it was like Friday or Saturday.
And it's rain like
It
it
is
had
still
just stopped raining,
drizzling.
and is about to rain again, and the dude is out there like leaf blowing his driveway, and
That has nothing on it because it's soaking wet.
and Allie just looks at me. Allie just looks at me and says, "Oh, that just screams that his wife asked him to do something, to like redecorate something inside or do
No,
something."
she's
Like,
organizing. She's cleaning
like
out closets.
it's
and
like
be
asking him
"Honey,
to like scrub the baseboards.
Let's go clean the baseboards. And
Right.
he's like, oh, I've got
You know, I've really got to do something in
yard
the yard work. Yeah.
And he was out there just piddling.
It was leaf blowing in between like a rainy yard.
Rainstorms.
And then so we like walk off and we're just like we just keep going on and on about this dude, just like making up stories about like why he would be outside.
I
And
think that's because his wife was cleaning, like
Yeah.
deep clean.
like he's like, I gotta find a way to get out of this.
Yeah.
And so we loop back around and he's still out there. Guess what he has now? He has gotten weed killer. He has gotten like a weed killer spray and is going down his sidewalk spraying like
The
weeds,
already
obviously.
pristine cracks of the sidewalk.
Right. Look, I mean, it looks pretty clean already, but I guess not. But also, who sprays weed killer when
It's
it's
gonna rain.
when it's already wet and it's about to rain again in like an hour. It was so funny.
Ridiculous.
We were dying. It was so funny. We were just like doing this walk, and this guy is just like being the most like textbook like I gotta get out of this because my yard reason guy. Oh my goodness. It was fantastic. And it was a fantastic trip.
It was.
We
was
went,
a good trip.
There's this delightful little ice cream place that is like one of one. It's called Cream Delight. They've got this giant neon sign. So we got some Cream Delight off the square downtown Athens.
What did the giant neon sign have to do with any of that?
I'm just setting the stage for like, it's like a classic, like it's your classic ice cream joint with like the neon sign, really old school, like 70s, 80s, like soft serve type ice cream place. It's fantastic.
It is really good.
It is really good. Anyway.
We had a lovely time.
We had a lovely time.
Kickoff to summer.
We did. It's summertime.
Whoop whoop.
I think this is the end.
Feels like the end.
Feels like the end. Good night.
Good night.